Well, Charles James filed this report for Sierra Wave Media. The Inyo County Board of Supervisors wrapped up several weeks of what must have been exhausting public meetings held throughout the county, including a recent meeting in Bishop at the City Council chambers on the Inyo Forest Plan Update Review. Now, there was a good turnout as far as public meetings have gone recently, with about 20 local residents showing up and a good half of them offering criticism of the Forest Service. Now, the original Inyo Forest Plan dates back to 1988. It has been 25 years since a major revision has been undertaken, although there have been amendments reflecting changes in conditions over time. Now, given the criticism directed at the Forest Service at the Bishop meeting, 25 years haven't much improved the public's trust of the federal agency. The speakers were uniformly critical of the agency, characterizing it as an unreliable partner that often uses intimidating, confusing terminology and has a lack of understanding and competence in predicting the negative economic consequences that its policies have on local communities. Inyo County Planning Director Joshua Hart began the meeting by giving a brief overview of the 15 topic papers that form the basis of the Inyo Forest Plan. There were three top priorities: access, a vibrant economy, and the protection of local culture. He then turned the meeting over to Inyo Forest Planner Susan Joyce, who spoke on the purpose of the plan. She said, quote, "Forest plans are intended to provide direction for a 10 to 15-year planning period. Amendments are made and are limited or specific in terms of the management direction that was changed. The Inyo National Forest Plan offers a broad policy decision-making tool that does not permit specific action or activity. It sets goals and objectives for desired conditions," explained Joyce. Now, the final Forest Service plan isn't expected to be completed until 2016, and is the Inyo County Board of Supervisors that must make recommendations during the planning process, which is why they held public meetings to find out what the public wants and thinks on the subject. Now, for more on this story and the comments from the public, we urge you to go to our website, sierrawave.net. Well, there has been a load of arrests recently, and we're going to talk about some of those now, including agents from the Inyo Narcotics Enforcement Team and U.S. Forest Service. They served multiple search warrants in Southern California as part of their investigation into marijuana cultivation sites in Inyo County, and we talked about in previous broadcasts. Now, INET and Forest Service agents have been investigating the residences for several months, connecting the occupants of the residences to illegal activity in marijuana cultivation sites on federal lands in Inyo County. INET and Forest Service were assisted in the warrant services by agents of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency and agents from local law enforcement jurisdiction. Teams of agents were created and assigned specific houses in order to coordinate the warrant services at the exact same time. Now, a search of one residence resulted in the arrest of a suspect connected to an Inyo County marijuana cultivation site. A search of a second residence resulted in the seizure of over 400 marijuana plants from an illegal backyard grow and the arrest of two suspects. Now, throughout the months-long investigation, INET and Forest Service agents paid close attention to a third residence with the most traffic that was connected to the activity in Inyo County. And a search of that residence resulted in the discovery of a methamphetamine lab. In that residence, INET agents seized over $11,000 in cash, over 5 firearms, one of which was loaded and stolen, several vials of steroids, over 2 pounds of marijuana, over 2 pounds of crystal methamphetamine, and about 15 pounds of liquid methamphetamine. 3 suspects who were present inside the residence at the time of the warrant service were arrested. Now, the residence also required the response of a hazmat team specializing in the cleanup and processing of meth labs, and the response of social service counselors specializing in drug-endangered children cases. All of the suspects arrested and evidence seized were handed over to agents with local law enforcement jurisdiction for local prosecution. Well, between Thursday, August 22nd and Sunday, August 25th, the Mono County Sheriff's Office conducted a saturation patrol in various locations in the northern half of Mono County. And well, this coincided with a lot of folks heading to the Burning Man Festival in northern Nevada. Now, according to a press release from the Mono County Sheriff's Office, the purpose of the enforcement was to combat people trafficking illegal narcotics through and to our communities. Now, with the assistance of the Mammoth Lakes Police Department, CHP, Bishop Police Department, the South Lake Tahoe Police Department, and the El Dorado County Sheriff's Office, the patrol was successful in netting 17 felony arrests. The above-mentioned agencies supplied officers and drug-sniffing dogs. Now, among the drugs seized from the arrests were methamphetamine, cocaine, ecstasy, marijuana, psilocybin mushrooms, MDMA, LSD, and GHB. Now, all of the cases have been submitted to the Mono County District Attorney's Office for filing. Also on August 23rd, Inyo County Sheriff's Deputy Brian Howard conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle in Big Pine for a traffic violation. Now, upon making contact with the driver, John Baker, age 48, of Truckee, Deputy Howard, according to the press release, immediately smelled the odor of marijuana coming from inside the vehicle. Now, after Baker made inconsistent statements to Deputy Howard regarding what he had in his possession, assistance was requested of the Inyo Narcotics Enforcement Team. Agents from INET responded and began an investigation into Baker. Agents developed probable cause and arrested Baker for possession of marijuana for sales and transportation of over an ounce of marijuana. Agents seized over 8 ounces of marijuana, over $8,000 in cash, and other evidence of sales. Baker was transported and booked into the Inyo County Jail in Independence. Well, let's lighten the mood a bit and catch some fun from the 2013 Eastern Sierra Tri-County Fair.
Insult to injury. Give it up, buddy. Give him the money.
Do it. And when it feels good, it feels good.
He made it. He's still going.
Man.
Okay, here comes Lena. She's going to be running for the finish line. All the way down to our judge. Look at them feet move.
Look at the wheels in the arena. We got Cord Pete. You ready, Cord?
Well, we thank Catherine Hurdle for getting that video and editing that piece together. And we will have action from the Bishop Volunteer Fire Department Destruction Derby coming up in future broadcasts. We'll be back right now with some weather and sports.